Okay, this morning I'm going to show you how to get some color in this window without going to the trouble of replacing sky. So, um, excuse me. Well, one thing you can do is start off by reducing highlights, but apparently that's not going to work here. So I've already right-clicked, chosen Edit in Photoshop. So let's go over to Photoshop, and here's my picture. So what I'm going to do here is open an image that has a pretty sky color. So I go to my library for skies and just choose a pretty sky color. There's one right there. And go back to my image. Now, in this case, I'm going to use my quick selection tool. Just come in here and select some sky. A little bit over here too. Maybe I'll even take that piece there. That's the only sky I've really got here. So now I go back to my sky. I pick up my eyedropper, which is, I don't know what that's called, color selector, and just pick the darkest part of the sky right there. And you'll see it has changed my color selection down here to the foreground color. Now I go back to my image here, and you see there's my color already selected. Now I go to my gradient tool, select that, go up here and make sure that it is that the choice is set to foreground to transparent, foreground to transparent. And there's some other ones here. There's some choices that like this one, you want to make sure that it's just the straight up. There's some like radials. You don't want this or this or this or this. You want this one, which I don't know what it's called, but it's just the flat out, straight across. So, and then I'm going to change my opacity to fairly high. Let's take it up here and let's see what happens. And what I'm going to do, what I want is a gradual color of the blue from top to bottom. So I'm just going to pick it up like this, drag it down. Okay, that's too dark. Let's undo that. Reduce the opacity about halfway. Try again. I think that's too dark too, so let's drop it down a little bit more. Pull it down. That. Still want it a little bluer. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. That's pretty good. The only thing is it looks a little harsh right in here. So I'm just going to go over here to my art history brush and put the opacity down to about 50% and bring my brush up a little bit here like this. Just kind of mark the edge off a little bit so that that's a little more gradual. And maybe even over here. That way, in fact, that might be a little too blue, so I'm going to bring this opacity down a little bit and just back off on the blue altogether. About like, maybe not that much, about like that. So you have a little blue in the sky, but you didn't have to mess with the whole sky replacement. Just kind of a little faster way of changing your sky to blue. Now, another thing I'm going to do in this image is just put a little bit of contrast on. I'm going to go back over here to my quick selection. Just going to get my entire window here. Whoops. And here. And when you're picking up things with your quick selection tool, it's a good idea to click on and off in case you make an error. You don't have to unclick the entire area. That's close enough. Get this area and this area. And I just want a little more crispness through the windows all. Not sure I want this fence, but anyway. So now I'm just going to come over here and pick up this curve and just pop a little contrast in like this. I call it contrast, but like that. I think that looks better. Like, I might drop it off a little bit. And the opacity, you can almost just kind of play with your opacity like this. Where'd it go? Oh, oops. Like this, and just kind of drag it like that. Anyway, that's how you do it. Another, you can always, if you don't like using that bar, you can change your opacity. Any slider, you can use it like this. Just drag on the word opacity. And so, then, done. Flatten. Close it out. Save it, yes. Okay. Go back to Lightroom, and it will update in a minute. Sometimes you've got to change. Come back to it. And there's my blue sky. So that's how it's done.